Our Director of Scouting, Craig Button, is here for a closer look at each of Canada's 7 NHL teams. Let's start with a status report here on the Montreal Canadiens. Craig, here's how that roster shapes up. And we slotted in the players, not exactly how they fit on the Habs, but more so on a league-wide basis. Take us through this team.
Starting in the net. With the acquisition of Jake Allen, Montreal now has the best 1-2 punch in the National Hockey League. Marc Bergevin knew he had to address that. This helps Carey Price be at his absolute best. On the blue line, 2 quality first pair defensemen in Weber and Petrie. Then you go to the second pair. Sherrod has established himself there, and I see Alexander Romanov stepping in as a second pair defenseman. The acquisition and subsequent signing of Joel Edmondson as a third pair gives them real depth on the blue line. Where you look at a real gap is on the forward group, with the lack of what we would define as quality first-line players. It really is a hole for the Montreal Canadiens, and while Nick Suzuki very well could turn into that number one over the course of the season or by the end of the season, it is an area that is lacking for the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, Suzuki was just named to the all-rookie team, the first Habs center to do that in the 37-year history of the honor. So as you mentioned, the clear number one need for Montreal, it's a first-line forward. Well, there's a first-line forward near the top of the free agent list. His name is Taylor Hall, Craig. Would Hall be a good fit with the Habs?
Yeah, Taylor Hall would be a very good fit for the Montreal Canadiens, but you have to keep this in mind. It's a long-term contract and a lot of money, and he needs support to be at his very best. When I look at the pending status of Phillip Danault and Jeff Petrie as unrestricted free agents in 2021, they're incredibly important to the Montreal Canadiens, and I think Montreal has to make sure that they don't leave themselves short with cap space where they'd have to let go one or both of those players.
Yeah, Danault and Petrie, just 2 of 5 important contracts in the queue for a Habs GM Marc Bergevin. You've also got RFA Max Domi, and then pending unrestricted free agents Brendan Gallagher and Thomas Tatar coming up at the end of next season. So in terms of Domi, though, a lot of speculation, Craig, on his future in Montreal. He averaged just over 14 minutes of ice in the playoffs. That was 9th among Canadiens forwards.
Max Domi is a second-line center. So he ends up on the wing. It's a square peg in a round hole. He absolutely could be the player that they could move to try to acquire that winger. You look at the TSN trade bait board, Patrick Laine's name shows up there. I know this. If a player of his quality shows up, you better be making inquiries. But make no mistake, Domi can definitely be a player that they could consider moving to acquire some help on the wings.
All right, good stuff. Our status reports continue on Thursday. We'll have a closer look at the Toronto Maple Leafs.